So this is about doing what we don't want to do. I had this epiphany as a result of giving birth. When I went into labor, I remember right about before, which I did a natural birth. I did it in an apartment, and it's nothing to compete about. Birth is very personal, and what one chooses to do, and the way they choose to give birth is up to them and their child. So, I ended up giving birth in my apartment, and right before I was about to push out, I remember being very elevated, and my energy was in my heart area, and the midwife sat down on her knees, and she looked at me and she said, "You need to bring it down." And I started bringing my voice basically was like in my head, and I started kind of bringing the scream down into my belly, and that was where the movement was able to help push my baby out. And okay, that was exciting. Hold on, I have to stop. Yeah, it really is exciting. Okay, so there was a moment I remember saying, "I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this." And I just kept saying, "I don't want to do this," but guess what? I had to do it. I had to push the baby out for the baby to come out. It wasn't a matter of wanting. So fast forward a few years, the father and I decided not to continue to live together, and we were in the middle of a child custody situation. And I remember arriving at the mailbox and getting the letter from the lawyers and walking into the house just thinking, "I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this." But this time it was an emotional want. It wasn't a physical thing. The birthing thing was a physical, like, this is going to hurt me so bad. But this time it was an emotional thing, like, this is going to hurt me so bad, but in an emotional way. But guess what? I had to do it. I mean, I guess in some ways I didn't have to do it. In some ways I could have been like, fuck it, I'm not going to show up at this court. I'm not going to show up. And I could have not, but that would have other consequences that I'm not sure I really want to deal with. But again, I think that's how, if you can, when you start to get overwhelmed about not wanting to do something, it does matter. Like, your wants and desires do matter. But once you've signed up for something, and that moment of like you can use the example of prayer, practicing prayer. When you start practicing prayer, there's moments where you're gonna say, "I don't want to fucking pray," and those are the moments where you need to pray. Those are the moments that you have to push through, and it's not gonna hurt you. It's gonna get you through. I hope that this has been helpful to someone. Have a wonderful day.